the idea behind this conversation is that I kind of want to get a history of rock from your perspective, from the beginning, from as early as you can remember, um, and kind of talk about where rock has grown from and where we're at currently and what the vision is for the future.
I remember the company size. I was 8 years old. So
okay, all
when
right.
we
So
started in a very, very small garage.
yeah, let's start there because I want you to talk to me as if you were training me on, if I was there and you were telling me about the history of rock. So when you were 8, you were a little kid, and your grandpa and was it your dad?
Yeah, it was my dad and my uncle.
Your dad and your
Yeah,
uncle. Okay.
yeah, they are the founders of the company. So,
And where did it start from? Where did they get the idea from and to even want to do it?
okay, you're just starting now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So let's talk about how everything started. Uh, the company was founded in 1983. Okay. Um, Both my uncle and my dad, they are the founders of the company. They were their background is uh, as mechanics, ironworks. Um, my dad was working for in dams in a hydroelectric company, power company. My uncle was working as a turn operator in another company. So uh, my uncle came with the idea about setting up his own business, and he invited my dad to join him, and that's when they established the company. So when my uncle started, he was kind of uh, doing some kind of service and some kind of attachments and to some textile companies, because we are in the area here in north of Portugal
Mhm.
that there's a textile cluster here, like 50 kilometers around our town. Okay, so they found business here. They found the potential to serve different print shops. Okay, so when they established the company, they were looking for clients and companies. They were looking for or to fix equipment or to work on different solutions and different attachments for screen printing. Not only screen printing, we also did some different machines, even to bend rolls of fabric, also to put buttons on jeans.
Mhm.
So a kind of serving different attachment, different devices for textile until we start more focus on digital on screen printing equipment.
Well, let me ask,
So
what started the journey in apparel? Why did they go from being, an electrical company to wanting to make buttons, machines that make buttons for jeans and, printing machines?
yeah, what's almost at the same time, because we're a company like someone came with an idea or a special need, and we think about it and we develop a customized solution. Was a kind of like, and in that first year we saw the opportunity for screen printing, because at that time here in the area the machines you saw in the print shops were mostly precision, some Italian manufacturing machines, some MHMs. So screen printers were kind of complaining that anytime we need a technical service, we have to hire the technician coming from Austria, very expensive, or coming from Italy, very expensive. So why you guys don't be involved on this business? You're very smart. Why you don't create your own equipment? So that was like an invitation to enter on this. So we start with our very first round machine, our round press, 6-color 14 pallets, in like 1984 maybe. So and start like that. And we start developing flash cures, develop our own dryers, and so on and so on. So I remember we start in a small garage, um, close by a chapel, San ROQ Chapel. So that's the name behind the rock name is a saint name. And why was that? They try to register different names. Usually, you try to register your surname, like
Mm.
your surname and brother, or your. So you try different approach. So no one was approved, so you try Saint Rock Iron Works Facility. It's translating the name of the company like start is like that,
Yeah.
limited. So you started like that, and only like 5 years ago we decide to, or 6 years ago we decide to establish the Rock brand, and later last year with a new marketing, different marketing approach, converting even the company's name into Rock Group Rock. Okay,
Mhm.
so.
So when you were a kid, were you into what they were doing at all? Were you watching, or were you just being a kid and didn't really care?
The company was very small in the garage. My uncle, my dad, another employee there. I remember he's still working here. That guy, working on the paint division. He's painting the machines. He's still with us. And I remember to after school going to play at the company. And so, and I remember to go with my dad to visit some print shops with him. It was a kind of boring. Spend hours and hours and hours waiting for him to come home. And so in that time, I was not imagining myself in this business. Okay, that
Yeah.
came real late.
So when did it become interesting for you to want to pursue it for the rest of your life? You know, I'm sure that, you know, it was meant to be passed down, but obviously you had to accept that. So when did that happen when you said, you know what, I do want to invest the rest of my life doing this and I'll take it from here?
Well, I joined the company as a employee. I was hired in 2004. Okay, I did all the school. I did the college. I went into college to be a journalist. So that was my dream. Like I want to be a journalist. So I
Mhm.
did the college to be journalist. I left the college as a radio broadcasting journalist. So I did radio for almost 20 years. Even working here in the company, I did radio as a part-time job as well. So I've decided to come in 2004 in that moment because my dad pursued me to why you don't join the company. It is a family business. Just come to work with me and your uncle. So he pursued me to come. And when I entered in May 2004, my role started in a kind of marketing division because the company, we were just 80 employees at that time. Today we are 700. So
Mm.
see the difference.
Yeah.
So I I decided, so maybe I should start by helping organizing all the marketing stuff here. So we're in the work to establish our website, or reorganizing all the catalogs, promotional videos, helping the team to organize trade shows. So it was a kind of my role. So I did that role for about 2 years until I was invited by my uncle to join the sales team, because we were in the position to increase the sales division. It was in the moment that we are looking to expand internationally. At that moment we were just two sales guys, one more focused on South America, in Brazil, where we start our own branch for our very first branch outside Portugal was in Brazil, mostly because the language is Portuguese. It was a big market then. And another teammate was in charge of Portuguese and international market. So, but we were expanding. So I start with a national market at the Portuguese to learn. And later in 2010, I was invited to jump to the international division. So to take care of the North America and Central American territories. So start expanding, having more export managers to the sales division. So now we are a team of 5 here, taking care of the worldwide market.
Yeah, that's a pretty big market too.
Yeah.
How do you? Well, actually, I'm going to go back. You said you wanted to be a journalist, and
yeah,
I follow you and I watch the stuff that you do online, and I can see that there's an artistic element to the way that you take pictures, the way that you see the world. Because I feel like when you post the pictures of like you with your family and, doing the stuff that you like to do, I see things through your eyes, when you take those pictures, because that's the way that you see them. You don't just see a setting, you see a specific picture a lot of times. And I'm kind of the same way. And do you think that is like the journalist side of you, the artistic side of you that comes out through your Instagram and the pictures that you take?
It's a kind of to be honest with you, I really enjoy Instagram. It's probably the only social media I care of, or I spend some time. I don't really care about Facebook. But Instagram is, I don't know, it let you be more creative, maybe because it's based on pictures. So you communicate basically with pictures, not with messages.
Yes.
Anytime you post some picture or some video, you are trying to pass some message. So it's that particular moment you want to say something. You don't need to use words or too many sentences. So just use a picture or use something. And it's interesting. And when we have people that and some followers, they understand that, and they like you, for example, you're very unique on your on the stuff you post. And also because in journalism, we learn to communicate in very different ways. Okay, there's different ways you communicate: by writing, by voice, by your doing movies or videos. There's different ways to communicate. You can communicate by don't say nothing, basically. So there's pictures that are more value than 1,000 words. So
yes,
it just you just learn how to distinguish and compare and filter a bunch of information. So that's a good thing about learning on the journalism college.
So how do you use what you learned in college with what you do now?
Well, when I start on sales, I was a bit nervous about it. So only thinking about how can I sell something to someone? So it's a kind of, but is on the other hand is very exciting. It's all about persuade someone to trust on what you're saying, that should trust on that product or that solution or in that equipment. So everything on sales is about creating relations and based on trust. So you have to build trust with your partner, with your first your client or your prospect, your lead, your prospect, and client that become a partner. And everything you have to do, because it's is the most important part in every business, and special for us that we sell equipment, is based on long-term relationships. Someone that buys a machine, it's a client for decades. So it needs you for improving, it needs you for upgrading, to service him. So it should be always a win-win partnership. So you grow if your client, your partner grows with you. Your success is my success. So it's every deal is based on trust. So it's what I learned. Is what I learned in this job. Is what I learned with my old colleagues on sales as well. So but the easy thing was I started on the national market, and ROQ was the leader of the market at that time. Still is, but the machine almost was it can be sold alone by itself. So it's the reputation of the brand makes a huge difference. So you basically need to handle that with care.
Absolutely. Now, I've seen that from my perspective, ROQ cares a lot about reputation, to the point of where they'll, like you say, there's situation has to be a win-win. Okay. Any type of sale, any type of transaction has to be win-win on both sides. If it's a win-lose or a lose-win, whoever the lose side of that isn't happy. So keeping a reputation is incredibly important. And I see that ROQ does care about, to the point that they're actually willing to lose, in a sense, to keep the win, if that makes sense. So if something were to go wrong, ROQ will put all resources behind it, even if it puts them behind, to make sure that the person is happy. So is that something that you guys have always practiced, or is that something that you've learned?
We learn, and in some way we also practice. But let me tell you the other thing. So going back to the background of the company, as we were small. So basically, the machines learn not because we didn't invent the wheel. Okay, at that time there's two format of machines: round presses and oval format presses. I remember the very first ovals that I saw were the precision American machines. Later entered into M&R. Was observed by M&R. Some other Italian manufacturers like CS Print also using the same kind of oval format equipment, the same solution with the chain, the same type of registration. So we learn when you start doing something, you see what is there in the market, and you try to, okay, I'll take it from here, and I try to do my own improvements. How can I make the difference? So at the very first time, the difference was we are close by our own market. So all the print shops are in close by. So our main big advantage is to be close. But not only, the clients felt confident because every suggestion and every recommendation, every wish, every need, we were there to see if it can be accomplished, and how can we change something to accommodate is which the other guy's idea, the other printer idea. So this is what we learn. It's the foundation about all our products. Okay, that's why if you have the chance to see the very first units and the last ones, you see there's a huge evolution. Okay. So today, and that's part of our DNA, every machine, every ROQ, science, the Fit, science, the Nano, science, the U, the Eco, the Next, the Oval Evolution, the Oval Pro, whatever. You will see different details and different devices that is little parts of every printer all over the world, or especially from the main markets.
Yeah,
we learn a lot with Portuguese printers here, but Portuguese printers they work more with water base in the past 20 years. Okay, but there's market is always still running on plastic salt. But on the water based market, you learn a lot with the Portuguese market, some with the French market, some with the Italian market. Then when we went in Brazil, we learned more about all the different devices, especially on some functions on control panels that we include. And when you do it for everyone. Okay, it's recommendations and tips from different printers, different users that are available for everyone. when we went in India, we learned more about precision, about measuring, about adding scales, and until we enter in the U.S. market, and how demanding is the U.S. market. Still plastisol, and we learn how to accommodate our own products to work well in plastisol ink as well. So, so this is interesting because we love this kind of challenging. So our clients are challenging every market, every client are challenging us always to do more and improve every time. So that's I think that's the great thing about our foundation that we still have in mind these days.
Yeah, I think that a good client that I've personally got a chance to meet was Alan Benedict. And, you know, he has a different way of thinking as far as what he expects from the tools that he's using to manifest what it is that he sees in his mind to make the product real. And I really like that he kind of goes back and forth with Portugal as far as ideas and coming up with solutions to a lot of the I don't want to call them problems, but things that he has in mind, you know. And I love that Portugal, that you guys are extremely receptive and trying to figure it out. You got someone like Portilla, like I said, I've told you he's a genius. You know, I've talked to him a few times and I get blown away every time, you know. And then I just love the fact that somebody can say, look, this is what I'm trying to do. And then you guys take it from there and then you make it real. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and Portilla it's interesting because Portilla entering in the company is almost as in the same year as me, if I remember, is one of the most value mates that we have here in the company. We're so proud to count with him. He's doing a wonderful job on the service department. We are also proud of our engineering division, a very young engineering team. My uncle is still involved on the engineering part, but as a consultant and kind of supervising, but is not here every day. And we also have a great engineering team on the digital division. That's one of our biggest investments from the past 10 years. That it's how we were preparing the future, because we did a mark on digital equipment, also on packaging and folding and packaging solutions. And how we see the future of ROQ is being more involved on the DTG solutions for the market. So we also have a great team involved on R&D and product development for the digital products.
Is ROQ looking to follow the trend or create the trend?
First, it's like in the past with the screen printing equipment. First, you enter in the market and you see yourself that you can make the difference in some way. So you take what exists and try to modify and make it better. Okay, it happened with us, it happened with other industry leaders in the market. So what we are doing on the DTG equipment, because we are new on this type of product. So we learn about the market. We start with some key clients that they do exactly find out what they really want, how they see a DTG machine in the future, what's for them the concept of a real industrial DTG machine. That's how the ROQ now start in 2008 with contribution of value partners, clients that are in the market using cornets, using brothers. So this is what we wish to be a real industrial machine. So that's why we're working hard and on this new product. It's almost ready or practically ready to the market at this time. Like we introduced in last FESPA show and in the last ISS Long Beach.
Yeah, that was
So,
cool.
but the same as the hybrid. The hybrid we start in 2016, but the hybrid was not start by us. Others start first, but we came after, tried making the difference. Difference is not only quality, it's not only speed, it's also quality.
Yes.
Especially for us that are more involved on the fashion kind of market. Okay, the majority of our clients are still the big fashion brands, clients, big textile and big print shop that working for the most demanding brands in the world, like Zara, Nike, so Hugo Boss, Armani. So, which is the perfect way to challenge you. So, to do the best to serve this type of market. If you are able to serve this type of market, you are also it's also great to serve the t-shirt business.
Okay, so let's take a look. Let's think past the DTG market. Let's think past folding and packing. Let's think past the presses. What would be the future beyond that? What comes after DTG?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. Where can ROQ go beyond where we're at currently? That's kind of like, what new solution or what new machine or process or something can ROQ develop that can disrupt an entire industry?
I can tell you what we can do to help the industry on the near future. Okay. So like the hybrid came to help screen printers to make the transition for DTG, that means that 10 years or 20 years ago, when we saw the very first digital unit printing on shirts, we thought, come on, is that real? Is that coming?
Mm-hmm.
Are
I owned one.
Are we forgetting about screens and ink and squeegees? But then we thought, oh, the manufacturers struggle to have consistency, to have competitive pricing, and still today the price per print is not enough competitive for retail brands that really charge you really cheap prices per print for high volume. Is still not there, but it's almost there. Okay, so suddenly, also because print ads are cheaper than before, and some of the components that even the inks are more, there's more options on the micropigment inks for textiles to be on inkjet. So you see a transformation of the market, and more you see less quantities per art, small orders each time. So maybe boosted by the online market, more people buying online and going to the store, so is pushing on that direction. So you see that is happening now, so you have to be prepared. So, and when it's happening, you see how can I make the difference? So that's how we start developing a real industrial solution like a ROQ. But not only, we should offer something to help all the fulfillment and all the production flow. That's when we enter and are looking to help our clients with a full complete integration system to integrate the printer with the folding and the packaging and the shipping and labeling. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
So, and how I see the future, because we are still in the apparel decoration business and thinking the future for apparel decoration. What I think ROQ can make the difference is looking to automatizing solutions more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in some textile traditional markets, let's talk about Mexico, let's talk about Central America, let's talk about Asia. Um, we should understand textiles demand manpower, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But in some regions, there's no enough manpower.
Yeah.
So more and more and more big textile corporations, they're looking to automatize, looking for robots, looking for solutions that with less operators can produce more,
Mm-hmm.
okay, efficiently. So reducing costs. So that's the way we see that we can have an important contribute in the future is bringing solutions to increase efficiency on the print shops and to our customers, okay, by automatizing their own operations.
So complete automation is where you'll see ROQ in the future.
Yes,
Just the minimum amount of people necessary.
everything that can be replaced by a machine, that's something we should
I
pursue.
like I like that. Okay, so now let's strip away ROQ. Let's strip away screen printing. Let's strip all that away. Who are you? What makes you happy? What does your morning routine look like? You know, what are some of the habits? We're going to go through all this, but I want to know about you, not necessarily just about ROQ and screen printing. So, who are you without ROQ?
I'm just a family guy.
Mm-hmm.
I
I see.
have two kids. I have a lovely wife. So even if I really happy with my job, I spend big part of my life uh, working, dealing with partners, clients, supporting the market, traveling. It's part of the game here.
Do you enjoy traveling?
Yes, I do. It's part of like if I like to meet people and I like to different cultures. I like to learn about the other countries, about their history, about their culture, about their food, about their music. So it's part of something that I really enjoy. So sometimes it's a kind of difficult to separate what is work, what is fun, because sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
Okay, it's both, and the teams you have in different territories that you handle every day, it's like at the end it's like family, so and close friends, and
Yes.
I'm really proud and to, I to have good friends that are with me since I start in this role for more than 10 years, and yeah, together in this journey. I cannot forget, for example, that I start with Bobby exploring the North American market, and then we met Brian, and so they are all with us at the ROQ US. So it's something that came really 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago. So
Yeah.
it's nice, and I'm proud to see that the people and the company on the hood
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
from those years still together and thinking it in the same direction in
Yeah,
the
I
market.
can definitely say that you have aligned yourself with people who think in the similar direction for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that happens naturally. You know, I think that once your brain is set to a certain frequency, um, the universe will give you those people. You know, that they'll surround you because you're only thinking a certain way. So other people who are thinking a certain way are naturally going to come together. Um, what are some of the good habits that you have on a daily basis that help you be successful, that keep you from I don't know, from having any bad habits? What are some of the good things that you say you do on a regular basis? Do you write
I'm
everything down?
not properly a kind of organized or disciplined type of guy, to be honest with you. Sometimes we're very absorbed on the daily work that we lose completely the sense of the time.
Mhm.
And to be honest with you, I spend a lot of time in the office, and so my life is office and then family. If I 2, 3 times a week, I like to do sports, and my only sport is spinning. I really enjoy spinning. Um, uh, Beside that, I love music. Um I play really bad few instruments. I have my own collection of instruments.
Oh.
I love folk music.
Mhm.
Something I did in my was my personal project on radio for 10, 20 years. I I used to play my only radio broadcasting show, all about folk music, European folk music and North American folk music. So I'm very proud of my own music collection.
Mhm.
I still enjoy every music style, but perfectly folk music, Celtic, jazz, bluegrass, blues, so klezmer. So it's if I have time to listen to music, I'm happy. So
Yeah.
music makes me
I
happy.
want you to send me some of the music that you listen to and some of the stuff that you've done yourself. I really like to listen to that. I'm really interested in that. But um, okay, so now as far as what are some of the going back to screen printing, what are some of the pain points that Rock is experiencing right now in the current level of growth that Rock is in right now?
Um, there's some growing pains that we are facing right now because we have a very young team and we are in the process of growing. We are 700 right now, but we are still in hiring. And when you in a very competitive market like European market on this type of industry, on metallomechanics, machine manufacturing, there's a big competition for high skilled technicians. So Rock decide as a different approach to train his own teams. So we basically go to schools and invite invite the invite the people that want to come to work and join a big project, young team with a perspective to grow inside the company. I'm myself an example of like that. I grow inside the company. It's an opportunity to do a career,
Mhm.
both in sales, both in assembly, engineering. So there's a different opportunities here in the company. So of course, there's a very competitive market, and that's the idea. Um, the idea of the company is investing more on training. So, and part is a big part of this is training, but until you have the team totally ready, so you have a part of the team is totally ready, the other hand still in learning process. So that's it's not the same like having like a totally high skill team,
Mhm.
if you understand.
Yeah. I think for me, what's made me a better technician is actually running into problems in the field. You know, we learned a lot here at the warehouse when I started, and I still have a lot to learn. But um, I really enjoy running into the problems when I'm on the road, and because it forces me to grow. It forces me to learn something new, and I always know I'm going to figure it out one way or another. But I that's my favorite part of being a technician. You know, is running into those problems. Is that something that you guys kind of push on your staff, is to look for problems and grow from those?
Yeah, but it's not it's not that easy. Something that it's something you can teach you, and you try to teach it. But it's a big part is from your own personality. Okay, you're a good example of someone that there's really love what you're doing, and you're really special, Rich, on that. So it's
Thank you.
you're a
I
totally
really
different
appreciate that.
cases. So it's you're very unique. But it's we have some people that they really want to make difference. So they came with their own suggestions. They see problems, they came with solutions. So we have some of those technicians as
Yeah.
part of the team in that all the different divisions that's very it's very valuable. It's great when we can have a motivated team like that want to bring something and to help to increase the product, increasing the production tools, the assembly techniques. So and especially in the moment that we are implementing different production methodologies like Kaizen, came with a new CEO because he's in all past projects he worked with, he worked with Kaizen. So it's a totally different methodology that when he came to put everyone talking with everyone, the teams talking each other, take a moment to take a meeting to find out what can be improved, what is wrong, what is right. So what's the direction we should take. So it's something that is preparing the company to go to another level.
Do you give him full I don't know how I could say this, but you just everything that he does, you just put trust into it, knowing that with his experience that he's going to take ROQ to that next level?
Yes, we should consider that someone with the knowledge and the experience like our CEO currently has, and from different type of industries, he came with a big industrial background. So is absolutely someone that knows what he's doing, and in some moments he challenging is challenging us on the same direction, and we trust on the direction he wants for the company. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that he has your complete support, as far as ROQ as a whole. That's incredibly important for somebody who's,
especially because we try to compare a little bit with the car automobile manufacturing. So the idea is take some of the good practices from automobile manufacturing and how is all the workflow organized, try to implement some of those methodologies into our own assembling process. So it's interesting to see the evolution and how the company is becoming more efficient on the assembling standpoint. So everything, why? Because especially because ROQ is being growing, and luckily orders are coming. We are still working on to improve the delivery times, but that doesn't happen like in 2 days or 3 days. It happened with preparation, methodology, and ways to be more efficient to reduce your timelines. And that's something we really want, because at the end, if you can reduce the timeline, we can serve our client needs and our partner needs quickly.
Has ROQ ever considered doing manufacturing in other countries, like let's say like America, have like a facility out here that holds the same standards as they do in Portugal, basically mirror, exact same processes and systems? Is that something that you guys have taken into consideration?
We did consider, if I remember, we considered like was a time we considered maybe doing a part in Brazil, because our very first approach to international market, when we opened our branch in another country, we did it in Brazil with ROQ Brazil. In all the other countries, we are working through distributors. I'm very proud to say that some our oldest distributors, the Spanish one, is still with us, working almost years and years and years. So even to understand how the level of trust of all those that work with us. So we start with Brazil, and Brazil was growing at the point that we were considering why not partially manufacturing here or assembling here in the country. But at that time, the problem of manufacturing in Brazil, if I remember, was the costs of that manufacturing, not properly because the manpower being cheaper or expensive than the Portuguese, but mostly because in Brazil you don't have easy access to the components that you need build your machines, which is totally different than being in the European territory, that you have access to everything from Europe, from Germany, from France, from Italy, even from overseas, from Japan, from China, from US. So it's different when you are in a very competitive economic territory that can get every component at the best price, the best delivery times. So that made the difference of keep investing on the manufacturing in the current location than in the other locations. Going to US, I cannot respond right now, but we don't know the future.
Yeah,
we can say no. We don't know the future, what the future will bring us, what direction is coming. These days, we are facing some trouble. We are just trying to leave the pandemic crisis. The market is recovering very fast from the disrupted pandemic crisis with COVID. And in the past weeks, unfortunately, it started the war in Ukraine with Russia, which is creating different supply chain problems and in Europe, and then probably worldwide, as you guys may know right now. So we'll still here hanging and doing our best, but new challenges every day.
How does it feel to be taking over an entire market? How does that feel? Going from the early stages to being number one and it not going anywhere. ROQ is already number one, but is not going to be taken over anytime soon. Not with the way that things are going.
I'm a very humble guy, to be honest with you. I don't like to come, I'm here, I'm going to be the leader, I'm going to take this market. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm very, very like step by step. Like, let's see how it goes.
But there's got to be, even just talking to yourself without you.
Yeah, but it's interesting.
Arrogant, egotistical.
It's interesting. You see how you start and how you are right now. I'm talking not just me, but the company, because I remember when we, at the time, let's say year 2000, 2005, between 2000 2005, there was two big players in the world. M&R, number one, maybe number two, MHM. Good brands, manufacturers, great manufacturers. They have a mark in the industry for sure. Rich Hoffman on the M&R side, Herbert Mayhofer on the MHM. So at that time, I remember, because when those companies start, they start with their mind going to the world market. We start based on the local market. Okay, so slowly we were growing, and to go overseas, starting by Brazil. I remember the very first machine installed in Spain, France, Turkey, North Africa, but the big overseas market was Brazil. Of course, it helped a lot the fact that we speak the same language as the Brazilian. So, but the change point happened after 2008. Okay, and was a time that we were preparing ourselves internally that we really need to go. If you want to grow, you need to go overseas. Period. So it was a time that the MHM was in really bad situation financially, and then they basically went in bankruptcy, and the brand changed to another Italian company. So it passed for different changes and adjustments, the entire company. So it came at a time that we took the MHM market position. Some dealers, they changed from MHM because MHM cannot supply machines, cannot service, cannot supply parts, and they changed for ROQ because they saw like ROQ as a value alternative to MHM. Mm-hmm. Similar machines in some points, because I don't know if you pay attention and you take a look at the European manufacturers style of machines, they're a little bit the kind of the same vision. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you see the American manufacturer, if you see a M&R, Anatol, Workhorse, they see kind of the same pattern. Okay, you see there's a style there, there's a style over there, like Japanese cars, American cars, European cars, it kind of. So that was the moment we see the opportunity to start growing, and we start going on India, then on Turkey, especially on Turkey when MHM was leader, absolute leader on Turkey. I remember that time only in Istanbul, they were saying maybe 2,000 MHM presses installed just in Istanbul. So crazy. So yeah. And you start changing the market. For example, Turkey is a market we changed from MHM to ROQ. Absolutely. Really there's proud of that.
You could tell that there's a need in all these different markets for what the value that ROQ has to offer. You can totally see that.
Yeah. Before Turkey, it happened also in Brazil. We changed from MHM to ROQ. Mm-hmm. So when the opportunity came to US to step in US, of course, there's a time you have to do something in that market step by step. You have to have a reference. You have to find partners here and there. And because when you do your job, if you do it great, your own clients will be your spokesperson. So they will sell the machine for you. So that's the best part of this industry. So, and this is a 10-year job. It's not, it didn't start yesterday. Yeah. It started in 2011, knocking doors, looking for partners, building a distribution network. I'm very thankful to start the journey with Bobby. He's a believer. I remember he's a believer. He's no, we will do it. We'll do it. So I believe we'll take a good part of this market to M&R. And and then we connect with Ryan Ed and tech support in Pittsburgh. Really appreciate everything they did with us. Mm-hmm. Tech support later they left, and Ryan Ed took all the market, and slowly, especially because Ryan Ed is a different approach kind of company, more like screen printers that just starting. So yeah. We're so happy to see screen printers start with a manual press, really Hopkins, then they buy the first U machine, then the second U, then third, then Eco, and next, and Dryer. Now they have 5 machines, 6 machines, yeah. Like growing, doing well on business. So we basically start from scratch, and some of those clients are the example of this success, of all these all this route, and until we decided to establish our own brand, because it makes totally sense. When your number one market is the US, you should be there. So for the brand perspective, it was a big move. So now, because we have established team in US, of course, the level of confidence of many other enterprises, many other print shops, it's natural they see us as a value option, especially for those that still running M&Rs, and especially these days when they see how is ROQ capable to serve with a significant inventory of machines and parts and resources, and a complete technician and service network all over the country. I think today we are a value option in the US market.
Yeah, I think that shops that even aren't ROQ shops still have a level of respect for ROQ shops, for ROQ in general. I think that, they may not like you, but they still respect you, and I think that that's something that, from my perspective and my opinion, that I think that ROQ has earned, from like the way that Ross, the way that he conducts himself. I think he's very well respected within the industry. I think that Ryan is a trusted person within the industry. He's proven himself through Ryanet. And I think that when he talks, people listen. And if he says, look, I have this product that you guys, this will change everything for you, they're going to listen, even with blind faith. Just say, look, Ryan said it, we're doing it. And I think that ROQ aligning with Ryan and Ryan pushing that out to the American market, I think it couldn't have happened any better at a better time. I think that it all kind of worked out. I mean, everything wasn't perfect, but it's working itself out very smoothly.
Again, like I said, Rich, this business is based on trust, and so thankful to have Ryan since the very first time in this journey with Bobby, because they really helped. It really helped to build the trust on the brand and our equipment since the very first days, and later Ross and all the rest of the team. So and this trust is the message they pass to the market since the very first time. So when you see Ryan talking on the social media, on YouTube channels, on the trade shows, on the summits, it's telling what he believes. When you sell what you believe, what you try to present, what you believe is different when you present something that it's just another product. It's one more product I'm selling. No, you have to believe on what you sell, because you trust, and you are getting trust from the client, from your partner.
Yeah, I think what we call that here is energy transfer. So if I believe in something big enough, no matter how big the idea is or small, if I believe it's strong enough and I transfer that energy over to my prospect, they're going to reciprocate it. But if I'm unsure, if I'm not sure 100% about the product that I'm looking to sell to my prospect or even have them try, the odds are the transaction isn't going to go as well. I think
and other thing that I really learned about the American market, more than the other markets that I work with, Central America and Mexico, are more Latin style, and different cultures also value, and they're really interesting, and really appreciate them, really enjoy those territories and the people. But one of the things I really value about working with the North American market is this community spirit.
Yes.
It's screen printers uniting a community.
Yes.
They're more than a community, they're close friends. They're and our clients and all the ROQ users in US, we are a true family. So, and they're proud to be part of this family. It's one of the things I say with me is to tell me I have friends. I don't have clients. I have friends.
Yes.
That's something really unique.
Yeah, and that's I feel like I personally, when I go to meet these other shop owners, or let's say that I'm going to install their press or whatever, I bring that with me, that same energy with me, you know, because I remember when I got my rock press, how excited I was. I remember building it, even though I didn't have a rock technician. I didn't buy it from Rock. I bought it privately, and I disassembled it myself and built it myself, um, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I did, and it worked perfect. But um, I remember how excited I was to get that going, that next part of my journey. And so whenever I'm in doing an install, I understand that that's how they feel too, because I've been there. So I do the things that I wish somebody would have done for me when I got my press installed, you know, showed me all the cool tricks and, you know, walked me through everything and how it works, and, you know, how I can streamline their production. You know, I give them all that energy. I give it all to them. So when I leave these shops, I leave as a friend, not just a technician that came to install the press. And I stay in communication with these guys even after. So let's say, you know, they're having an issue down the line where they forgot something that we talked about in training. My cell phone's always ready. You know, I'm ready to talk to you. I'm ready to help you walk through it and get it figured out and get you back on the road. Um, I think that the whole rock community as a whole, even other rock owners, they care about somebody else who has a rock that's in screen printing. They want to help each other. You know, just like you said, with the culture and the community. I love it.
It's something that is really value, and you don't see in other markets. Okay,
Yes.
it's something that is really unique from the American market. In some other countries, they uh, the customers or the industry, they see each other as a competitors and competition. And
Yeah, yeah.
so, you know, there's something, there's a time to cooperate, and there's some time to leave the distance and leave the gap. So you are my competitor. So I don't
Yeah,
have to
I don't
join
really
venture with you.
understand that too
So,
much. You know, I mean, I guess if let's say we're in the Olympics and we got country against country, I don't want these guys to know my secrets. But if we're all just screen printing, you know, there's there's infinite amount of work. There's whether you're printing for local businesses, you're printing for NFL teams, you're printing for these guys or that guy. There's so much work out there, and no one can take it all. So it would only help the industry as a whole if everybody helped each other out.
I have a very old local client here that said to another one that I don't want to say names, but secrets for what? Screen printing was invented uh, years ago, so there's nothing secret here.
Yeah.
It's just screen printing.
Yep.
So, but the way you print, it stays with you. Okay, it's like you have a beautiful, nice guitar, and I can have the same guitar, even though a better than one. But if I don't know how to play like you, I cannot be as good as you. So
Hmm.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's where I feel like the education comes into play. And once we have the demo center set up here, my mission in that is to record video after video after video explaining all these techniques, the printing techniques and the features on the machines. I feel like the more that people understand and more that they know how to use the machines, the more creativity can be expressed. And that's kind of the goal of the education is, look, I'm going to show you how to do this, but then you guys take it and do something bigger with it, you know, and then teach people how you did it.
Look, there's another point that I really love about the American market and your community. It's availability from printers to teach other printers. I know print shops in US that the owners, they travel to the other part of the country to spend time with other owners to help them
Mhm.
and to educate them just for fun, or just for because he's my friend, because I care about him, because I met him at trade show, because and trade shows like Long Beach are like I don't know. It's Long Beach is very special because it's a reunion
Yeah, it is. It's a
event.
Super Bowl.
Like I see printers, they see each other every year in that place.
Yep.
So it's something uh, really great.
Yeah, that was the first place I ever saw a rock in person. Was at a ISS Long Beach 3 4 years ago. I think it was. That was when I was looking, because I was a manual printer for a long time, and it was time. You know, I was at my press 18 hours a day, just hurting my whole body. And I said, okay, I need to figure this out. So I talked to Ryan. He said, come on down to ISS. I checked it out, and they were giving away a press. They were doing like the spin, some game where you spin it and you win the press. And I didn't win, but that was the whole reason I went down there though. And then I ended up buying it privately afterwards. But when you know, what's crazy is I never even looked at any of the other competitors. I didn't look at M&R. I didn't look at MHM. I didn't look at Anatol. I went straight to ROQ because I just knew there was something that was telling me that this is what you need to do, is go this direction. And obviously being friends with Ryan, you know, that kind of inspired it a little bit too. But
That's a
uh,
great thing about Ryan.
yeah, absolutely. I love that guy so much. I'm actually
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
see him
yeah.
next week. I'm going to Made Lab next week.
Yeah, and you know what, Rich? You know, it's looked like you are with us for years, not just 3 years
Yeah.
ago. It,
Yeah.
it's
Yep. I
it's
love rock. I always have. I've always been a supporter and a promoter of rock. As soon as I got my press up and running and I figured it out, I was all over the place. Like, you know, I was probably there was a couple other rock shops in my area, but I guarantee you they weren't doing what I was doing with the press. You know, a lot of people just keep it basic. Me, I was trying to push the machine to its limits. You know, I wanted to see what this thing can really do, and I even did some things I probably shouldn't have, but it still worked. You know, I do that all the time. When I bought my first DTG machine, I don't know, 15 years ago, it was only able to print a small area, and I was like, no, I want the whole shirt to print. So I took the machine and I made it do what I wanted it to do, and then I was printing the entire shirt with the DTG machine 15 years ago. And I remember the company I bought the machine from, they said, how did you do that? How does this machine doing? How is it printing like this? And I wouldn't tell them my secrets at that time, but I would now. But then I kind of kept it to myself because it took a lot of engineering in my own head to make it do what I wanted it to do.
that's right, Rich. And yeah, man, look, that's why we love what we do. So you understand, you love what you do. It's not that different what I'm doing here in a different plan. That's a great thing about this industry. It's and you know what? Sometimes I talk with other printers and I talk with other people in the industry on the ink manufacturing, on the fabric, on you know, everything about screen printing, and no one is imagining himself leaving the industry, or they may stop selling machines or being machine manufacturing or accessory manufacturing, but they say, oh no, but maybe I'll be selling ink, or maybe I'll be running a print shop or a screen printing manager or something. So they will be in the industry in some. It's like a circle. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've met people that they were printing managers, they were ink sales reps, they were doing different things. So always in the same industry, screen printing.
I want to ask you one last question. Now you can answer this on a rock side, or you can answer it on a personal side. What is the impact that you want to leave on this earth before you go?
Oh man, I don't know.
Why do you do
Again,
everything?
look, to be honest with you, I don't. I'm a very humble kind of guy. I don't think, oh, how can you make the difference here? So I think about, you know what? I care about my friends. I
Mhm.
care about people. I care about doing the good. Respect each one. That's my values. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I have a Christian education, so what I learn is respect everyone. So just I don't know, do the good in your work, in your
Hmm.
life. Uh, that's the mark I want to leave. And that's what it's the values I want to pass to my children, to pass to my grandchildren. So that's the only thing I imagine to leave a good mark, because the values that came from my parents, from my grandparents, and that's it. Of course, this big enterprise that we call ROQ. It start in a very small garage, and the founders are not the owners anymore. But I feel proud still. I'm still here, and I feel proud of what they did and what they built. All respects to my uncle and my dad for their efforts. They're now relaxed, enjoying life as they deserved. And I think the company is in good hands now with people that know what is important to keep the machine, to keep the company and the machines we produce and all the products to the next level. And I'm very proud to be part of this big project, because I know this project since I was really young. So it's having the opportunity to work here every day and be helping all this project and all this company taking its goals. It's something that left me proud, and just that.
I love that. I love that a lot. I think that I can totally agree with you. Do no harm unto people and add value to the world. It's pretty simple. You know, if you can, for me, I add value in other ways, maybe not on a manufacturing high level side, but who knows where the world's going to take me? You know, who knows where I'm going to be in 20 years from now? So I definitely align with what you say. I live the same way. That's something, unfortunately for me, I didn't learn till later in my life. But now that I know and I know better, I do better, you know? So I want to thank you for your time today. I know that we kind of ran on for a little bit of time, but I wanted to have this conversation with you for a very long time. You know, I think that this conversation's been a long time coming, and I'm grateful for your time, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rich, for inviting me to be part of to spend some time to talk with you about a little bit about ROQ, about myself. So really appreciate your time. Really appreciate what you're doing. Okay,
Thank you.
so we'll see you around.
All right.